I think the stability is the name of the game with Switzerland. You know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's the Swiss motto. Everything's very efficient. There has been an increase in the pricing, simply because it's supply and demand. We haven't got that much stock anymore in the luxury chalet sector, and the demand is driving the prices slightly upwards. But I think at the end of the day, I keep on coming back to this, it's a lifestyle investment decision.
Welcome back to the hot seat. Delighted today to be joined by Meredith Davis, who is a European real estate broker and agent, Tristan Davis Real Estate. Welcome, Meredith.
Thank you very much, David. How are you today?
Very well. Now, it was terrific to see you in Switzerland a few weeks ago, but for those who've not had the chance to meet you, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background and your business in Switzerland?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur since a very early age, and I came to Switzerland in 2005, purely a lifestyle decision. I ended up in a ski resort next to Verbier, which is called Haute-Nanda, and we tried it as a family for 6 months and didn't leave. And obviously a lot of time has passed. It's been absolutely wonderful, a great place to live and bring up your family.
It is a beautiful part of the world. I was lucky enough to pay a visit there in between PCD, Zurich and Geneva. Perhaps, you know, sketch a little portrait of it for people who can picture it in their minds.
Oh, well, it's mountains, sunshine. We have the full 4 seasons, the snow, beautiful summers, walking in nature, fresh air, sport, the food as well, which you experienced one of the hunting menus here, which was absolutely fantastic. And what more can I say?
Sounds superb. I mean, many people who've been to Switzerland on business might have only seen the centre of Geneva, the centre of Zurich, but really the countryside in Switzerland is just so beautiful and picturesque. I mean, perhaps you could just give us a sense of your experience living in Switzerland, and the variation, I guess, in the natural, you know, geography and landscape.
Yeah, I think that the cities are absolutely wonderful places in their own right. What does happen is obviously a lot of them have lakes and they become extremely foggy during the winter. And so there's this mass migration every weekend from Zurich, from Geneva, from Lausanne up to the Alps, because that is where the sun shines. And of course, when you're buying property here, us agents will tell you we have 300 days sunshine a year up here. But actually, it is true. We grow wine, and without sunshine, you couldn't grow wine in this region.
Perfect. So tell us a little bit more about Tristan Davis and the property services you provide.
So we essentially are in the luxury chalet market and luxury property. We do cover some of the cities, but we really are a mountain lifestyle company. So that's luxury chalets, that's also hotels and other investments.
What's the luxury chalet market like at the moment? I mean, you read a lot about changes in holiday habits since COVID and people wanting to have a bit of isolation space, perhaps their own place. The way people use hotels is changing. Perhaps you could give us a sense of that and how you think it's impacted, like the Swiss chalet market at the very top end.
Yeah, I think there's been a huge demand and reactivation of the Swiss Alps. People want space, they want to come and enjoy the fresh air. COVID has really changed things. We had a lot of stock on the market 3 years ago, and now there is very, very little choice, regardless of whether you're living here full time or you're a foreign buyer. But we still do have some opportunities, and we do offer a little value-added service, which we'll come to later, where we can actually represent the buyer to help them conduct their search.
Okay, thanks. And you know, the Swiss investing in the Swiss economy, the strength of the Swiss currency and the real estate sector has proved to be very resilient and attractive for investors. You also help people access the returns available in the Swiss real estate market and do fundraising on behalf of people looking to put projects together. Perhaps you tell us a little bit more about that side of your business too.
Absolutely. Well, we have investment products across the board. I think even if you're buying a chalet, you could look at it as an investment return because people want to rent them, whether it's Airbnb or a much higher grade. You know, some people in Verbier, for example, would want to rent only to maybe people in the high net worth community. But it's very important, I think, to try and get a return and usage on your property. Hotels are obviously a very, very interesting other segment that we operate in. The most important thing is that you have to understand that Switzerland represents stability and security. You're going to get a nice return in Switzerland. You're not going to get the very highest, but it's a fantastic opportunity to diverse your investment. And also that comes back into the lifestyle where you invest in Switzerland, and then you can also enjoy the lifestyle. It's not just a financial investment, it's a real life investment.
Interesting. And do tell us a little bit more about what's happening in the hotel sector. I mean, huge change with COVID, and the Swiss are famous in the hospitality space, the quality of the sector. I mean, perhaps give us a little sense of what you're seeing there.
Well, I think the Switzerland stayed open during COVID. The resorts stayed open. We were very, very lucky, and so the hotels really had a bumper time compared maybe to previous years. There's a lot of buyers wanting to get into the hotel market, and equally there's a lot of owners where maybe the property needs a renovation or an investment, and it's time for them to exit. And this is providing opportunities on both sides. So we're doing very well signing hotels right across the country at the moment. We also engage with consultants who can give our clients feasibility studies, analysis on opportunities and how to change a hotel, rebrand it, and drive a solid future.
I guess because COVID has just prompted many owner operators to think, oh, really, is this a good time to be getting out? It's encouraging others to think about the opportunity of renovation, isn't it? It must be a real time of shift in the sector, and both for people exiting and looking for an entry point. There's opportunities.
It's absolutely a massive time of change, and the expectations from brands have changed. What worked 40 years ago in the hotel sector is not working anymore. People want different things, and it really needs some new blood, new ideas.
And from a sort of macroeconomic perspective, looking at how the Swiss real estate market, how do you see where we're at in terms of interest rates, market stability, stock availability, liquidity? What are the trends in pricing in the Swiss real estate market, and where can investors kind of take confidence in?
I think the stability is the name of the game with Switzerland. You know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's the Swiss motto. Everything's very efficient. There has been an increase in the pricing simply because it's supply and demand. We haven't got that much stock anymore in the luxury chalet sector, and the demand is driving the prices slightly upwards. But I think at the end of the day, I keep on coming back to this, it's a lifestyle investment decision. You only have one chance to come and enjoy this. So people are taking that plunge and they're investing regardless.
And I mean, how do you differentiate yourself versus other agents that people might be looking at for purchasing property?
Well, I think, we actually get up and engage with our clients through the marketing, but we also add on some extra services. It is extremely difficult conducting a search now that there's very limited stock available. So we have a whole buyer agent program where we will actually represent you, make the search very easy, and do all the due diligence checks that one might miss where a professional can identify.
Okay, well, many thanks for talking to me today, Meredith, and we look forward to sharing this with our members.
Super. Thanks so much, David.